Tony, did you feel like it was some of the same problems you guys had against Minnesota in the Big Ten championship game that came back today?
Yeah, Todd, I'm not going to compare it to the other game. Big Ten game against Minnesota, their top 3 team. They played a great game. We were in the game. We lost 5-4. It was one of those games, happened. Tonight was a game where their team got some momentum early in the game. They found a reason and a belief in themselves that they could frustrate us and get to their game. We never really did for any great lengths of time. We had a little bit of momentum and a chance there, and that shorthanded goal kind of took a lot out of us late in the period there. But as always, our team doesn't know what the word quit means. We tried to left it out on the ice in the third period, but we dug ourselves too big of a hole. So, those guys told you, right out of the gate. I heard those guys, Cole and Emby, what they said. Bemidji came out and made the plays early in the game to get the lead, and once they got the lead, confidence in their way they play. When you get a lead and the ice conditions weren't great, it was a battle for us. It was hard to make plays, and their team, got in the way. They supported each other really well. They made lots of plays that made it really hard on us today.
Any more questions for Coach? Todd again.
They especially seem to make it difficult for you guys to get out of your own zone and get through the neutral zone, especially in the first and second periods. Was that something that you was handled differently by your guys than in previous games when that was presented to them?
Like I said, once they got the lead and the confidence in their game, they played like we play a lot of games. They did. They got to that part of it. We looked up. We saw three or four green sweaters in front of us, and not much support to it. And that's a credit to them. Again, they got the lead. They learned the ice and how the game was going to be played, and took advantage of it. And like I said, we never really had any momentum shift after shift where we could turn that tide or put them on their heels. A little bit in the third for sure. We pulled within a couple there, but again, it was just too late.
Francois?
Hi, Tony. Probably for the first 2 periods, it was a little bit harder for Cole Caulfield, like the rest of the team. But with the way he played in the third, is it the sign of the character for the kid? He was still buzzing till the last minute.
He had no quit in him. He had a phenomenal year. He had as good of a year as I've ever seen any college player have. Right till the last second, he was scratching and clawing and doing everything he could to try to help us get back into that game. So, it says a lot about his character. It says a lot about his development this year. It tells you what kind of, player he is. And, it was a hard game out there tonight with how it was being played, by the conditions and by how they played against us. And he grinded as best he could to help us, find a way to get back into the game. And, like I said, Bemidji was, was outstanding. They made it hard on him, but he found a way. So his year was, like I said, you got a Hobie vote coming up and an award coming right here. I've seen quite a few of the players in college hockey. I don't know anyone can come close to the year that he had for us. So, he's obviously very emotional right now because it ended way sooner than any of us expected it to. I think we all, with how the year went for us and what kind of group we had, we expected to be playing for another few weeks. So when things end real fast, sometimes the emotions and the feelings that you have, are you wonder, why it ended. And basically the other team was better than us tonight. As hard as Cole played, it just wasn't enough.
Marin and Aaron and Eric.
Coach, I know you talked about Cole and how emotional this is for him, and during his time for his press conference, we asked about his next step. So, as someone like you who has been at the NHL level, and just how many days do you think it takes for a kid to think about this process when they have the option to either come back to school or move on to the NHL?
Yeah, he's going to get a call, I'm sure, from his agent and from Montreal real soon. You know, the Canadians watched him play this year. The scouts all watched him play this year. You know, so they have a plan. I don't know that plan. I'm assuming that plan is to try to get him up there as fast as they can. So, you know, he'll have to answer to some calls here really quick. I think the best thing, you know, for him to do right now is just kind of reflect on the year, kind of, you know, get away from it for a little bit, talk to family and the people that he needs to about, you know, making the next decision. But from what he's done and how he's played, you know, he's given himself a really nice option. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't know, you know, I don't know what else we could have asked of him as a player and as a leader and from where he was at the end of last year, which you got to remember, he led the Big Ten in scoring as a freshman. That's not easy to do. And so he had a phenomenal year, but he's come miles into you know, the growth of his game. And so I am really, really proud of him. I know it's a hard year when you got, you know, your professional team sitting there, you know, waiting for you. It's hard to stay focused. It's hard, you know, to be challenged every game when every other team is looking at you thinking, okay, we're going to figure out how to shut Caulfield down tonight. And he found a way every night this year to leave it on the ice for us, to set a great example for the rest of our team. And he's got a lot to be proud of. I know his teammates are proud of him. I know as a coach, like I said, I asked a lot of him this year, and everything I asked of him, and he went above and beyond. So I'm you know, I'm at loss for words because I didn't expect to have to be talking to you guys tonight. That you know, he may have played his last game here. Who knows? Maybe he'll make a decision. He's got his brother here. I know he likes school. I know he likes what happened here this year. But he's going to have an opportunity that's going to be presented to him here in the next few days.
Eric?
Hey, Tony. Just understanding everything you just said, and how would you said that he did everything you asked of him. How would you specify what you asked of him this year and what he set for himself as benchmarks in order to improve as the player you just described?
Yeah, we all know Cole can score goals. We knew what he did USA Hockey development, you know, beating Matthews and Kane and Kessel and all those other guys with what he did from a scoring and production standpoint. And now I think this year was the year that he showed that he could make the players around him great as well and make his teammates great. And I think the leadership and the competitiveness of bringing people along with you to learn how to be successful together, for me was the obvious one. The hurdles that he had to face, being the target of every other team that he played against. It started our first weekend against Notre Dame. They drew 4 major penalties this year from guys taking shots at him. So a kneeing, 3 high hits to the head area. So he was a target, and to be a target and be able to stay focused and be able to understand that that's part of being a great player. It's a compliment. And I think he took that as a compliment and a challenge, and he got up from every one of them. And usually after he got up from them, he put 2 or 3 pucks in the back of the net to show that wasn't going to affect him. So I just, you know, couldn't be more proud of how far he's come as a player, and understanding that being a superstar, there's lots that go along with it besides just scoring goals. And like I said, he was a great teammate. I think you saw the compete in him from the start of this game to the last second of our season. And you can see it, the emotion in him that it's come to an end. It's not, okay, I'm over now. Now I got to get ready to see, maybe I'm going to play in Montreal now. This is going to hurt and be with him for a while, losing, because, you know, he said he loved his teammates just like Ty did. And that's a special group of kids in there. This was not an easy year for anybody, any college athlete or any athlete playing in any sport right now with the challenges that we've had and everybody else has had. You come together as a group in a different way than you normally would, because there's no outside to deal with. You're with each other every single second of the day. And if you're not committed to trying to stay healthy and to be part of it, you know, it's not going to work. And I think the extra time that our guys were able to spend with each other, I think there was an extra amount of respect and love for one another that was gained because of the uniqueness of this year. And that's why you can see the emotion in those guys and how much pain, and it hurts right now to all of a sudden have our season pulled from with under us. We hadn't lost 2 games in a row until these last 2 games. Playing in the Big Ten against teams that we play against, that is an incredible feat itself. And we didn't expect to lose tonight. We knew we were playing a great team. We thought we'd find a way to grind through it and get a W. We have all year. And tonight, we just didn't get it done. So the season's over, and guys, including coaches, are we're expecting to have a press conference like this, or expecting to have to address our team, this quickly into this term.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Great. Last question from Josh.
Yeah. Do you think the ice worked in your favor tonight? Obviously, we talked to Bemidji, and they said it was working a little slow. Do you think that kind of advantaged them a little bit?
Well, when you get a lead, it does. And that's humidity. I mean, let's face it, it's 70 degrees outside, and all of a sudden, you go from, the weather change that we've had in the past couple of weeks. It's hard to keep the ice the same. So it was, both teams played on the same ice. That's not an excuse for why we lost. It was just a different track than you're used to playing it. But, great teams and teams that win find ways to deal with it. They got momentum early in the game and gained confidence in it when they got the lead. And, we were trying to play catch up on ice that isn't, as good as it normally might be, that it might become a little bit more difficult, but that's not wherever you are at this time of year, when you get a day like this outside, the ice is going to change, and that's playoff hockey, everywhere, the NHL level, college level. So that had no effect on the game. The Bemidji played the game they had to play to win, and we didn't do enough things to generate enough to get back into it.